Thursday. In South Africa, we say Pusa Thursday, or you could say in English, Thirsty Thursday. Alright, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Actionville TV. We're currently streaming live in Malaysia South. This is the Crocodile Show with myself, Kimera, Heeralal, as your host. And if you want to interact with us in studio today, please do so with the contact details that you find at the bottom right of your screen, or you can use the bottom column where it says live chat. Now, we've got a nice lineup for you this morning. As we always open our shows with Bracket Simpson. Today we're talking about fast food employees. Things that they refuse to talk about that happens behind the scenes. And not forgetting our live entertainment with upcoming artists or artists that are trying to expose themselves and get themselves out there. And last but not least, Ajishina all the way in Durban. Oh yeah, it's going to be a fun show. And in between, I'll drop you a few fun facts just before we close it. So it's a full hour of fun on this beautiful Thursday morning. It's a little cold and I'm still a little sleepy, but hey, shake it off. Alright, as we going along with the show, when we come back, don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. It's the Crocodile after this commercial break.
You can do anything. All you need is determination and a fresh pair of these nallies. But what's the point of looking like Injay game if all your money is on your feet and your dreams go up in flames? In this world of doing it for a gram, do you want a bank that takes your money or a bank that takes your money seriously?
Welcome back, everybody. If you just joined us, we are currently streaming in Indonesia South on Actionville TV. This is the Crocodile Show with myself, Kimera, Heeralal, as your host. And if you want to interact with us in studio today, you have to do so with the bottom column where it says live chat, or you could use the contact details at the bottom right. I prefer if you use the WhatsApp. It's faster. Alright. So let's open up the show as we always do with my favorite radio presenter, Bracket Simpson, doing his senseless survey.
This day.
Good morning, ma'am. I'm Agent 31962. I'm calling you from the Senseless Bureau. I just need to ask you a few questions for your country. It won't take more than 5 seconds.
Yes, of course.
Ma'am, do you know that starting your day with exercise is a good way to ensure your day can't get any worse?
Yes.
Do you think your eyes water when you yawn because you miss your bed so much that it makes you sad?
Absolutely.
Is there anything more frustrating than watching your mom use a computer?
Very few things in life.
Do regular dogs get nervous when they see police dogs?
No, to come to think about it, but probably.
Why do rappers all act hardcore when what they're really just doing is reading you their poetry?
I don't know, because poetry doesn't sell.
Ma'am, have you ever thought that maybe dogs that are all barking, they're actually shouting, "Shut up, man, I'm trying to sleep," to the dog who barked first?
I hope so.
Are birthday gifts just rewards for not dying?
I love that. Let's say yes.
When you say forward or back, do you know that your mouth moves in that direction?
Oh, it does. That's cool.
Did you just do that?
I just did it, yes.
Do you always say Wednesday in your head when trying to spell or write Wednesday?
Absolutely, I do.
Yep. If you think your parents didn't have a favorite child, you were the favorite child.
I know I'm the favorite child.
Ma'am, why does being naked while wearing shoes feel a lot more naked than just wearing absolutely nothing?
Bracket Simpson, everybody, live right here on Actionville TV. You're still sticking with us throughout the Crocodile as we're going to talk about fast foods that employees refuse to actually talk about. This is going to be fun. Interact with us in studio today. We'll come back straight after this commercial break.
Look at slide 4.
Back
Monkey, don't lose your cool. Think of the quarter pounder. It will taste like sunshine on a rainy day. Oh, so make it a day, the quarter pound away. Da 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 da.
Welcome back, everyone. If you just joined us, you are currently streaming live with us in the Nation South on Actionville TV. Yeah. This is the Crack It Down Show with myself, Kimera, Heeralal, as your host. And if you want to interact with us in studio today, you know how to do it. Use the bottom color where it says live chat, or you can use our WhatsApp line on 074-660-5829. You'll find it at the bottom right of your screen right now. Alright, so let's talk about things, fast food employees actually refuse to talk about. Okay, now these things actually happen every single day. Okay, after the show, you might not want to eat out, you might want to make your own food, but let's invite Kennedy Lettingham to help us with the top 10 things that, employees don't want to talk about. But before we get to it, I mean, look at it, right? Making fast food it's not fun. Okay, a lot of people that work in fast food, it's because they need the money. They need to make a living. They need to pay their bills. Anyway, we're going to take a look at the most commonly, friendly mistakes with me. And also, we'll talk about what to do instead. There's also a lot of times where people, they have bad habits, you know. I noticed when I decided to work as a cashier when I was at Gold Reef City. And taking in cash and giving back cash. Now, you being the cashier, when you mistakenly give back extra cash, it's a very bad habit that people don't actually want to help you to even count. Like if you say, oh, did I give you the right change? Did I give you extra? You'll actually notice that they have no response. They don't want to even answer you. They just want to take the money and go. I remember one day I gave a guy change of 100 Rand extra and he didn't even tell me. I ran towards him because remember, with cashiers, when they lose money from the business that they're working for, if they lose it and the owner comes by or the person who's doing accounts is like, hey, this is gonna come out of your pay. So remember, when counting money, being a cashier was quite hectic or quite difficult, especially when you're tired. Now there's all sorts of things in your fast food worker that workers won't tell you. Now including some of the bad habits they actually find annoying. Now I just shared one of mine with you. Some of these are probably pretty easy to figure out, but they don't like it when you're rude or throw trash on the floor or let your kids run amok. I mean, I've seen kids running amok when I'm working and it's quite irritating, even though I love kids, I love children, but there's certain things in the workplace you don't want there and you don't want happening. So let's take a look at what Kennedy Lettingham has to say this morning at number 10. It's called the Toronto Tim Hortons. Check it out.
When it comes to fast food, I think we all know that there is a lot we don't know about it. But just how bad could it really be? Well, if these stories I'm about to share with you are true, then you may never be able to look at fast food restaurants the same ever again. Welcome back, guys. My name is Kennedy, and today we are counting down some of the most outrageous secrets the fast food industry does not want you to know about. So get ready, because this is the top 10 scary things fast food employees refuse to talk about. Starting us off at number 10, a Toronto Tim Hortons. This one was posted by a now deleted Reddit account, and they speak about a specific Tim Hortons in the city of Toronto that honestly sounds like it should have been shut down for health code violations. Quote, some of us grab at the chance at revenge by spitting in coffee cups, using dirty lids that have cracks and will clearly break and spill all over you in a matter of seconds, or use tea bags that have fallen on the floor and have been smothered by our dirty and sweaty shoes for their tea, as well as putting salt into people's cups instead of sugar. Some people even go as far as blowing their noses and using that same napkin to give to the customer hiding behind a clean one. There are a lot of bad things that have been done by workers to the customers, but they happen to us as well. So listen, I know that fast food workers often get treated so badly by people all day. And from the sounds of this post, they were only ever doing this to retaliate when people were already being rude as hell, but some of this is just straight up disgusting.
Okay, here's another bad habit when it comes to fast food. There's this thing where people are, employees don't actually correct a mistake in your order. Yeah. Now, I mean, be as clear as possible when you're ordering something as nothing gets lost in translation. Now, the employee can repeat your order back to you, ladies and gentlemen, or you'll be able to see it on a screen or to make sure that everything looks correct and everything is okay. Now, it's harder to even fix once you get up to the window because I don't know if you've ever had that experience where you got to the window and the entire order was wrong, or you realize you ordered an entire meal and your chips are missing, or your ice cream is missing, or your cold drink is missing, and it's like, you know? So there's a lot of things that happen behind the scenes, or should I say that happens because you are too busy to actually, you as the customer are too busy to notice, wait a minute. They just robbed me. You know, these things happen. But coming in at number 9, ladies and gentlemen, Subway's bread.
Next up at number 9, Subway's bread. This next one is definitely not the most disgusting on the list, but it's still a pretty concerning take on our health regulations. The smell of Subway bread is a very distinctly sweet scent that just about anyone who's ever walked through a food court would be able to identify. And wouldn't you know, there is apparently a very predictable reason the one and only Subway bread in particular is so identifiable, and it's because it's, well, chocked full of sugar. And by chocked full, I mean sugar makes up roughly 10% of its overall composition. Now, the craziest part of all of that is that in Ireland, even though they still have Subway, their food standards state that any bread sold within its borders must clock in at less than 2% sugar. So they actually don't call it or even really consider it bread. Instead, they are named sub rolls. This all came out when a franchise in Galway, Ireland tried to challenge a takeout food tax, arguing that it didn't apply to his Subway restaurant because bread was a staple food. But 5 judges concluded that Subway bread doesn't count as staple food because it isn't actually bread at all.
Yuck! That's like too much of sugar. Ooh. Okay, yeah, we need sugar, but not so much in the body. You know what I mean? I mean, bread on its own, it's fattening. But it smells so good when it's coming out of the oven, right? We all like a good loaf of bread or just a freshly baked bread, but it sounds good. Thanks so much, Kennedy. Okay, so let's talk about the bad habits. Let's go back to me on the bad habits. She's talking about disgusting things that, you know, fast food employees don't even share. But now let's talk about the bad habits. Now, you know, when you're waiting at the drive-through window, now there's a certain chain that you will have to pull to the side. You know, you first have to go to the side, you place your order, all of that. Now, if you're just into designated parking to keep the flow of orders actually coming, you might think it makes things easier on the employees, when you park aside and wait at the window instead. But they want you to follow the directions. Now, if you look at this, it's a bad habit because that means that there's something wrong inside the business. There's a way for the drive-through chain to actually run. But these people won't tell you this. I mean, I don't call it a drive-through. In South Africa, we call it a park-through. Coming in at number 8, fry oil.
Next up at number 8, fry oil. When it comes to appliances in fast food kitchens, the deep fryer is working overtime. Truly, that thing is on from the minute they open until the second they close, and you would think, or rather hope, that if something involving that much blistering hot fat was being used that much, it would also be cleaned at least kind of regularly? Apparently not. According to one Reddit user, Worder375, quote, "The fry oil at our place never changed once in the roughly 5 months that I worked there. By the time I left, it was almost black." And it wasn't just at their store. Another user chimed in to agree, saying, quote, "After 43 years in food service, my advice is to cook your own food. I've worked in places that never change out their deep fry oil. Just filter it and add more." Now, I wish I could have lived my life in bliss unaware of this fact, but since I have to know, now so do you. But the real question is, do you think you'll take your chances with the deep fryer next time you're getting fast food?
Ah, sis man, yeah, the oil does not get changed. Okay, let me share something personal with you. When I fry in the house, I actually use my oil about, well, it depends what you're frying, right? I reuse my oil, but not in the space of more than a week. Ew, oh, 6 months of reused oil. Imagine how black, imagine how gross, imagine how dirty. And you know what's the worst part? If the person themselves that is actually handling the stuff is not clean, it's even more gross. Ew. Alright. So talking about our bad habits, or should I say bad habits in fast food, well, places. There's this thing of cleaning up your trays or your baskets. You know, when you, especially if you go to like a McDonald's and they give you a tray with everything on it. You know, unless the trash can be completely packed, I mean, it's rude to actually leave bags and wrappers on your table when you're eating at a fast food restaurant. Now, but if you separate the wrappers from the baskets and allow throwaway with the actual trash, don't forget to even check if you're breaking one of these obscure rules without even realizing it. Did you know that these are actually rules? It's like having laws or rules inside a company. You know, you're not allowed to do this. You're not allowed to open your email at a certain time. You're not allowed to be on Facebook at a certain time. Some places, like I'm in production, you're not allowed to have your cell phone in certain rooms of the building. And you know, there's a lot of things in the fast food industry that nobody really understands or remembers or is even educated about. So hence we're doing this show, and there's so much behind the fast food world that you don't even know, and people don't want to even share it. I think they should put these things up like on the wall or even include it in their adverts. I think it would actually help make the fast food industry a better place. Coming in at number 7, we've got the ice cream machine.
Coming in at number 7, ice cream machine. It's everyone's favorite thing to never order because, well, the machine is always broken, or at least that's the story we as the customers always get. According to these next two Redditors, they have a lot more going on in their ice cream machine than they want the public to know about. User Silly Bronson wrote, quote, "A coworker dumped mop water through the ice cream machine in an attempt to clean it, like the part where the soft serve goes to freeze. I am not sure what world this employee was living in when they decided this would be a good idea, but one can only hope that it wasn't too black and disgusting when it was poured into the machine. On the other hand, sometimes the ice cream machine can be gross all on its own. According to a now deleted Reddit account, they said, quote, "My daughter worked at a famous fast food drive-in chain and said she was cleaning out the ice cream machine and found a rat at the bottom. So maybe it's for the best that the machine is always broken, otherwise I could be getting mop water or rat-infested ice cream."
Ordering for the whole office. Have you ever tried ordering food or fast food for the entire office? Now, sure, you're bringing in a big business, right? But when you order lunch for like 10 at a fast food or a drive-through, it slows the whole line down. Now, instead, I'll order the inside. Well, I think you should go inside and order for a big order. And it's actually some advice. And this is more advanced, and it'll be actually faster to get the whole place running faster. Now, okay, if you look at it, a lot of people don't understand why I'm actually advising this. It's a thing of when you place a big order, you hold back a whole line and you hold back every single machine that is in the fast food industry. So then it's not actually done fast. It actually takes longer. So when you're ordering a big order for more than 10 people, it's gonna be sketchy. It's gonna take longer. Coming in at number 6, we've got chicken nuggets.
Next up at number 6, chicken nuggets. If I had to pick my go-to item on a McDonald's menu, it's gotta be the nuggets. So this one hurt a little extra to hear. A Reddit user named D Funkatron, who identifies himself as a former McDonald's employee, recalls one particular day at work where, quote, "I accidentally left a whole bag of about 100 chicken nuggets out on the counter for way too long. They melted into a pool of liquid. I never understood why, but they were completely indiscernible as being the nuggets I once knew." Now, how might that happen? How does frozen meat melt into a pool of alien sludge? Well, some think it's because it's not really proper meat, but rather a mechanically created meat wherein a slurry is created where the bones and carcass of a leftover chicken are mixed together in a food processor. Now, to be clear, McDonald's official stance is that the company does not process any of its meat products in the manner that is described in the mechanically separated chicken story, but if that's true, then honestly, what the hell happened to those frozen chicken nuggets?
Still talking about things your fast food worker isn't telling you right now. This was sent by WhatsApp by Michelle Crunch, right? So now she says, these surprising secrets about your favorite fast food restaurants might make you think twice next time when you're actually in line or at the drive-thru, right? So she's like, so after we cook something, we put it in a holding cabinet and set a timer. She shares the stories with us, right? So she says when the timer goes off, we're supposed to throw it out. But often we just reheat the food so that the freshest meal can come between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. or between 6 p.m. and 8 p.m. Now more people in the restaurant then, there's more people in the restaurant at this time because as you'll know it's lunchtime or it's supper time. And she says, so we're cooking and serving the new food constantly, and this is what happens and causes rotting behind the kitchens. Thanks for that so much, honey. Okay, so everything that I'm going to speak about now is coming from Michelle Crouch, and she's talking about also that plain chicken. Sorry, I just got grossed out by the nuggets. I love chicken nuggets, and to think that it's actually processed meat, it's not actual real chicken. But anyway, okay, so talking about plain chicken now. Okay, so the plain chicken breast may have been a healthy choice out of the package, right? But sometimes we have to slather it with butter just to make sure it doesn't stick to the grill. So if you're wondering why your chicken is tasting a bit buttery, chicken gets stuck on grillers, so people just like they hoy like a butter in there just to get it off so that it doesn't break or it doesn't make the chicken not look good. So it'll look nice, but if you're getting a bit of a buttery taste, now you know what that was. Stay tuned as we are still talking about things that fast food employees refuse to talk about. We'll come back straight after this commercial break.
The ultimate accessory. The latest shiny thing. Mesmerized. Trying to keep up, but never getting ahead in an endless cycle of spending. In this world of constant upgrades, do you want a bank that takes your money or a bank that takes your money seriously?
Welcome back, everybody. If you just joined us, we are streaming live in Lenasia South on Attenville TV. This is the Crack It Down Show with myself, Kimera, Heeralal, as your host. And if you want to contact us, you can do so with the contact details at the bottom right of your screen, or you could use our bottom column there where it says live chat as we are streaming live on YouTube. Alright, so we're talking about actually disgusting things that we need to learn from fast food employees. Well, we wish they would just tell us. But I'm sure if they know if they did, we probably never go back there. But anyway, talking about these different things and it's better. I think it was good that we did the show. So you'll actually be aware of what you're buying, what you're inducing into your body. Yeah. Now there's usually a way to get expensive menu items for less. Right? Now you'll notice there's a lot of things on the board when you go into a fast food place, and you'll notice it's very expensive. Now if you're craving example, like let's say a Big Mac, right? And if you order another example, a McDouble with no mustard or ketchup, tomato sauce, and then add shredded lettuce and mixed sauce for a small charge. They usually charge like 250 or 3 rand, and it's basically a mini Big Mac if you think about it, and you can get 2 for less than the cost of the big Mac. So if you check that out, if you actually notice, there are tricks in the way that you can order in fast food places. It's just that the employees refuse to share that with you. Coming in at number 5, machine maintenance.
Coming in at number 5, machine maintenance. One thing that I'm learning today is that the machines in a fast food chain do not really get cleaned as often as one might hope. According to one Reddit user, quote, "When I worked at McDonald's, the orange juice machine was only cleaned when an employee would have some and say, 'This tastes like mold.' I was usually the lucky one. I'm sorry. What? But the gross cleaning practices don't just stop at the orange juice machine. According to another Reddit user, it's all of them. Quote, "The ice machine in every kitchen I've ever worked in is disgusting. They're nearly impossible to clean, requiring a lot of time and disassembly to actually clean them properly. Not to mention that people tend to forget the need for hygiene when it comes to ice. I'm talking about leaving the ice scoop on the floor, not washing their hands, loose hairs floating around there, etc. If it wasn't already dirty because the machine never gets cleaned properly, it's dirty because folks are nasty around the ice. The same goes for every beverage dispenser, mixer, ice cream machine, etc. So apparently, no machine is safe."
Okay, most fast food joints clean everything with super concentrated chemicals at the end of each day. Now that includes the grills and the drink machine nozzles. And if you're one of the first customers in the morning, you may be getting some of that chemical residue on the food, or even in your drink or your order, or even worse, you don't even know what they put in there. I mean, there's different chemicals. There's cheap chemicals, or they're using those really strong chemicals just to gush out. They think it's gushing out the germs, but it's actually harming you. Right, so coming in at number 4, no customers, no rules.
Coming in at number 4, no customers, no rules. When it comes to fast food, there is, or I guess I should say there is supposed to be, pretty straight and narrow rules and guidelines that all food industry workers have to follow. And while these rules are generally stuck to when customers are there to bear witness, according to another story from BuzzFeed, all these rules and regulations tend to fly out the window the minute employees are alone in the store. At least, where this person worked. Quote, "I worked at a Burger King for 8 years. Whenever the store is getting ready in the morning, before the doors open, none of the food safety rules apply. No gloves, no hand washing, nothing." And it's not just Burger King. Another user echoed this sentiment saying, quote, "I worked at a small bakery. Being sanitary and clean is just for show. In front of customers, we would use paper and gloves to pick up food, but then we would use our bare hands to touch pastries when customers weren't around. Now, I don't even understand this. What is the reason? Who hurt you? Now I will forever be stressed that someone who never washes their hands made my food."
Okay, here's one of the simplest things you could ever share with somebody or look at, right? Now, you know those grill marks you get on your burger, right? It looks like somebody grilled your rolls or your burger. Now, did you know that these marks were actually made or put there by the factory that makes those buns or rolls? It's not actually done in the fast food place. So guys, it's not grilled if they're saying it's grilled. It's not baked if they're telling you they just baked it. It's straight hot out of the oven. It's sent that way from the factory. Number 3, coming in at number 3, we've got Kennedy saying, we're talking about don't order the coleslaw.
Coming in at number 3, don't order the coleslaw. If you thought it couldn't get grosser than that last one, well, I regret to inform you, it will. According to Reddit user Buddy Turner 2014, the worst thing they routinely saw while working at a fast food restaurant was when, quote, "the hairiest men would make coleslaw with no gloves, and for perspective, we would make a giant tub at a time. You're literally armpit deep sometimes in the bin to mix it correctly. Please don't eat the coleslaw." Now, the good news for me is I'm not much of a coleslaw person to begin with, but my condolences to anyone who may have unknowingly eaten some armpit BO. And hair-infused slaw out there.
Thank you for your sympathy, Kennedy. Yeah, your condolences. All right, I love coleslaw, but now I don't know what to do. Okay. I'm so over fast food right now. I don't know if we're ever gonna go out to eat ever again. Okay, but looking at most of us will actually cook something fresh if you ask for it. Okay, so Michelle sends us this. Michelle says, you know, if you go to a fast food place, when you're placing your order, Did you know you can ask, listen, could you please whip up a fresh batch of chips for me? Fries, whatever. But you can actually ask for it, and by law they are forced to do it, and you are allowed to see. So if you don't ask, you shall not receive. Ask and you shall receive. So if you want to make sure that your french fries or your chips come right out of the fryer, order them without salt firstly, okay? Ask for no salt, and this actually forces the people to cook you a new batch. Now you can add your own salt, which will be safer, and they'll actually still taste the same, but it'll be healthier because you know that it's clean. You know that it was just fried, it's fresh. It's not like 2 days ago's chips that is still standing there, and then they refried just to give it that heat, and it doesn't taste stale. Coming in at number 2, a mayo disaster.
Coming in at number 2, a mayo disaster. This next one comes from a now deleted Reddit account, and I have to say, it is actually a bit gobsmacking in terms of the audacity this manager had. The way this entire ordeal was truly 100% avoidable. I mean, well, why don't I just get right into it? Quote, at one of my first jobs at a fast food chain, my boss and I went to the storage garage to get a big box of mayonnaise. There was a small hole in the box, and when we opened it, a rat had eaten to the middle of the mayonnaise and died. Gross enough, but then my boss scraped out the rat and the mayo around it, then took the rest and served it. I didn't eat there for months. Now, they didn't say what restaurant or where this happened, but all I can think about is the fact that I could have had dead rat mayonnaise at some point in my life. I mean, you'd think when you find a dead animal in the food, you just throw it away. Apparently not.
Oh, yuck, yuck, and yuckity yuck. Alright, so now you can also avoid asking for extra of something. You know, like you'll ask for extra cheese, or you'll ask for extra sauce. And it's like, as soon as you say extra, we have, this lady is speaking on behalf of being a cashier, right? So she says, we have to enter it in the register and charge you for it. So instead, just tell us that you want us to put a good amount on there, or not be actually skimpy with it, and we'll load you up. Don't miss the point of this conversation, this show. We're actually trying to tell you people are robbing you, dead-end robbery. They're showing me that they're robbing you. And when you're like, can I have a little extra cheese, please? Charged. Can I have a serviette? Charged. And you don't even know that they're actually charging you, because it's a low amount, but if you look at it throughout your entire life of going to fast food joints, you actually spent a lot of money. Coming in at number 1, we've got rotting food.
And last up in our number 1 spot today, rotting food. So it's not just potential dead rats or molding machines that could be hiding behind the counters. According to this next story from a BuzzFeed article, some restaurants might actually be serving already rotting food. Quote, I worked in a pizza chain where the manager would make his own bread. We used them for garlic rolls as well as subs. While making garlic rolls, I noticed mold on them and proceeded to throw them into the trash. The owner decided to take the rolls out and told me to scrape off the mold and freeze them. The customers would never know. All of the vegetables were prepped and frozen, then defrosted in the dirty sinks for subs and pizza. He would make us remove all the bags and store them in a coworker's freezer if the health department came, because they were stored in grocery bags. But that's not all. We would freshly slice potatoes for fries, and even if they were rotten, he would make us slice them for customers and wash off the smelly gunk. Dressings would go bad, and he would tell us to mix them with a new bottle so no one would know. There's a lot that goes on behind those doors. I left. I couldn't stomach serving people rotten food. I mean, honest to God, what is wrong with some people? Well, that's all the horror stories I've got for you today. Hopefully I haven't ruined your favorite menu item, and if I did, well, just know I ruined my own favorite one, so we're in this together. Until next time, friends.
Thank you so much, Kennedy Lettingham, for telling us the top 10 things that fast food employees refuse to talk about. Now, we've got Michelle on my WhatsApp line. She says, yes, our chili is made from exactly what you think. She says, meat from old burgers. Yeah. Okay, thanks, Michelle. I don't know if I should be thanking you or shouting you. Okay, here's another one. She says, it makes me laugh when someone comes in and says she's trying to be healthy and then orders a salad with crispy chicken. She says, at McDonald's, some of these salads have about as many calories as a Big Mac. And also, in fact, a small order of French fries contains 4 fewer grams of fat than a packet of our ranch dressing. So basically, going to a fast food place and trying to lose weight, it's a big no-no. I mean, everything is greasy. Even if it's not a greasy dish, the way the place is kept, the way the oil is used, the way the dressing is kept. I mean, look, Kennedy just told you how they keep their things. And they're mixing things, and you don't even know what's thrown in there. You're not even sure how many calories you're putting into your body. You can order a salad, but it's not just salad. The things that are mixed in that salad, it's got fat in it, it's got grease and grime and in it. So whatever you do, don't go to a fast food place if you try to lose weight. It's not gonna happen. Alright, well, that's all we got for fast food employees, fast food employees and things that they don't want to talk about. But we've got a lot of messages coming in from Michelle, and we've got quite some time left until 8 o'clock. But let's take a little break. We're going to come back. We're going to keep you well entertained, as we do have lots of entertainment, music entertainment, to keep you happy on this Puza Thursday. Welcome back straight after this commercial break.
You can do anything. All you need is determination and a fresh pair of these nallies. But what's the point of looking like NJ Game if all your money's on your feet and your dreams go up in flames? In this world of doing it for Ikram, do you want a bank that takes your money or a bank that takes your money seriously?
Welcome back, everybody. If you've just joined us, we are currently streaming live in the Nation South on Attenborough TV. This is the Crackerdown Show with myself, Kimera, Heeralal, as your host. And if you want to join us in conversation, you can do so with the contact details at the bottom right of the screen, or you could use the bottom column where it says live chat. Alright, so as promised, we've got live entertainment coming up for you, and everybody knows Tracy Chapman, right? And everybody knows Tracy Chapman's hit, Baby Can I Hold You. So today it's being covered by a guest band from Solomon Islands. Check them out.
Yeah man, we got a special lady in the house tonight. Happy birthday for my lady. Where I can't know what we have to put on the whole bill right here right now, you know. Let's bounce it, everybody bounce it. Pandy dance, look come on now, everybody bounce it. Bounce it, everybody bounce it. Jump on the dance, go jump on the dance floor.
It's all that you can say.
I sleep in the bumper downstairs.
Yes, gone by and still.
Everybody.
Words don't come easily. Like I'm sorry, I'm sorry.
Forgive me, perfect girl.
It's all that you can say.
Why sleep in the
Oh yes,
One more
Do you want
time.
some more?
That was the Guess Band all the way from the Solomon Islands performing for us right here on Attenville TV as you're still watching The Crack of Dawn. Alright, so today's show is mostly about fast food employees actually refusing to talk about certain things, but I wanted to talk about it on the show. So I still got Michelle sending in messages on WhatsApp, and she's like, one of my co-workers actually once got so mad that he spat in someone's food. Ugh. She says he was only suspended for 3 days, but most of us would never do something like this unless you were really pushed to the point. Now remember guys, whenever I got out, I tell my dad and my fiance, listen, you know, when it comes to someone handling your food, you can't see what they're doing in the back there. So don't be rude to the people who are handling your food. Be as humble as you can. You know, you don't know what's happening back there. Alright, here's another one coming in from Michelle on WhatsApp. She says, here's a good way to know how clean a fast food establishment really is. She says, when you get your drink, bend down and look up into the ice chute. Okay, and then she says if you see mold and other stuff growing in there, which is actually more common than you might expect, they're not cleaning the machine as often as they're supposed to, or they would tell you about. So yeah, another one coming in from Michelle. She says those gorgeous pictures of our food in our advertisements, well, they are actually airbrushed and touched up with fiberglass and paint. And it probably takes 2 hours to make that picture look good. And obviously we're not going to be able to replicate that, as you know. I'm sure you guys notice when you go online and you go and check out your KFC menu or your McDonald's. It looks so good, but when you get there, it doesn't look anything like that. It really doesn't. It was just to attract you, to get you there for business. Yeah, but anyway, as we're keeping you well entertained, we got a bit of time, but stay we are. We'll come back straight after this commercial break. Welcome back, everybody. If you just joined us, you're a little later if you start streaming at 7 o'clock, but hey, I'm glad you're here. If you want to just go down on the scrolling bar on the YouTube channel, you can actually watch the show from the beginning again, or you can just click on the link later and watch it over and over again. It's quite simple. Alright, so as we promised you, great entertainment now. Everybody knows Katy Perry's I Kissed the Girl and I Liked It. Now today we got, we've got people performing for you, I Kissed the Girl by Katy Perry. This band is called First to 11, all the way in Canada, guys. Check them out.
This was never the way I planned, not my intention. I got so brave, drink in hand, lost my discretion. It's not what I'm used to, just wanna try you on. I'm curious for you, caught my attention. I kissed a girl and I liked it, the taste of a cherry chapstick. I kissed a girl just to try it. Hope my boyfriend don't mind it. nature. It's not what good girls do, not how they should behave. My head gets so confused, hard to behave. I kissed a girl and I liked it, the taste of a cherry chapstick. I kissed a girl just to try it. Oh, my boyfriend don't mind it. It felt so wrong, it felt so right. Told me I'm in love tonight. I kissed a girl and I liked it. I liked it. Us girls, we are so magical. Soft skin, red lips, so kissable. Hard to easy, so touchable. Too good to deny it. Ain't no big deal, it's innocent. I kissed a girl and I liked it, the taste of a cherry chapstick. I kissed a girl just to try it. Oh, my boyfriend don't mind it. It felt so wrong, it felt so right. Don't mean I'm in love tonight. I kissed a girl and I liked it. I liked it.
First to 11, all the way from Canada, ladies and gentlemen, performing for you, Katy Perry's I Kissed a Girl. Woo, that was nice. See, now you can go on with your day. It's quite fun, right? Alright, so today we were talking about fast food employees and things that they refuse to talk about. Okay, so here's one coming in from Jody. Now, Jody's on our WhatsApp line saying, please get off your cell phone. I've had people pull up to the window where they pay and they drive away without their food because they're so busy talking on the phone and not even paying attention. He also says then they're actually mad at me for not giving them their food. So get off your phone. Alright, at most fast food restaurants, it's tough to give away free food. Now, especially things like burgers, because I mean they're well without inventoried, and when we can sometimes give away French fries. He says they also give away ice cream or even drinks. But because we get those ourselves, well, them as employees, it depends on how the manager is actually feeling on duty. Yeah. Well, he can bless you with lots of food every day, but hey, I wouldn't want to eat at the place I work at because I know everything that's happening with you. Alright, Justin comes in on WhatsApp. He says, we hate it when you order an ice cream. Okay. Types of person, example me, I just go straight to a drive-through because it's easier to buy a 5 rand ice cream than going and buying the cone and then the ice cream, and then you come back home and then you still take the scoop and you put it on the cone. It's so much of effort. So just a quick $5, eat, done. You throw your serviette in the bin, done. Alright. So as promised, we've got Auntie Sheila around as we'll come back straight after this commercial break. Welcome back, everybody. We're sorry about that. We had to cut to commercial as we had technical difficulties. Yeah, we're gonna fight through this one. All right. Well, welcome back. We're currently streaming still live in Malaysia South, and we're still on Actonville TV's channel. All right. This is the Crack It Down Show with myself, Kimera, Heeralal, as your host. If you want to interact with us in studio today, you know how to do it. Use the contact details at the bottom right of your screen, or you can use the bottom column since you're streaming live. Now, it's come towards the end of the show, and it's one of my favorite times as well. Let's bounce back to Auntie Sheila in Durban with advice to dear mother-in-laws. Check it out.
Oh, welcome, darlings. It's Auntie Sheila Nasia. Apparently now, let me just move and tell you all the story. Apparently now, people are saying I'm a mother-in-law basher. Now, let me tell you something, right? The only mother-in-law I bash is my own mother-in-law. Because that Vayari always like to pick on me. But now mind what she say, no matter what Nandrakata na, I can do like a dog I can do for her. Hey, I can do anything, but I'll still be looked at as an outsider. She'll still say that Mandaraji, because I am a Mandaraji. She'll never, she can never accept, but now my son, Roti son, Kaltakara Jadi son, and definitely likes this Mandaraji sweeties, let me tell you that. Anyway, as I said, no matter what I can do, that one will always give me a kick up my ass and I'll always be a dog in her eyes. But anyway, what I'm saying is, I am not a basher. No matter what, I give my mother-in-law the utmost respect and love, because no matter what, I like to take blessing. And they say the best blessing is the mother's blessing. Now, and that one is like a devil, but it's his mother and I have to take the blessing. Moving on. Now, I am a mother-in-law myself. And the one thing I did when my son got married, darling, is I knew. As much as I wanted to tell my daughter-in-law, take your pie and buy because you're not good enough for my son, because every mother feels, hey, nobody is good enough for her son. I shut my mouth and I knew my place. Darlings, let me give you the best advice. I'm no mother-in-law basher. What I am is a mediator between the daughter-in-law and the mother-in-law. And what I can say to the mother-in-law is, remember, your son's happiness is most important. But happy wife, happy life. Happy wife, happy life. And if the mother-in-law, if you as a mother want a needle in your son's life, your son is not going to be happy. So I'm not a mother-in-law basher, darling. But what mother-in-laws need to understand is you need to respectfully step aside and let your daughter-in-law be the queen of that castle. There are decisions that she'll want to do. Darling, you can't have two queens in the kitchen. Let her choose what she wants to cook. Let her put her plates the way she likes. And let her, most importantly, feed her husband the way she chooses to feed. Trust me, your son, when he gets married, no more mommy's food is the best. He'll chow his wife's food, because trust me, he's chowing more things than her food. So leave it to them. Respectfully step aside and know your place. Darling, know your place. The wife is now important and will take precedence over you. As hard as it may seem, sometimes the best thing is to stay quiet, step aside, and all you can do is when they do ask for help and advice, give it. But other than that, chup.
That was Auntie Sheila all the way in Durban, ladies and gentlemen. She's quite pretty. Sheila's like, he's quite pretty. He's very gorgeous. Alright, that was Auntie Sheila advising our dear mother-in-laws out there. And also, just, you know what, in lessons of life, everything that you do, and every single thing that you do, you have to just know your place. So thank you so much for that, Auntie Sheila. Thank you for bringing a little humor to our morality show, yeah? Thank you so much. Okay, well, it's almost time for me to love and leave you, but stick around. We've got lots of fun facts coming up. And, well, let's take it to our last commercial break. We'll come back.
Put a spell on you. Because you're mine. Oh, because you're mine. Because you're mine.
Welcome back, everybody. If you just joined us, you're all a little late. You're a full hour late. No, I don't like you. Well, what are we gonna do now? Alright, so if you are joining late, you can click on this link, the live link again and again and again, and watch the show from the beginning. Today's show was basically about fast food employees and what they refuse to talk about or share with you. It was actually quite an interesting show, as you'll actually realize you did greasy things and greasy foods. If you are on a diet, do not eat out fast food. Do not take takeout. Don't even go to a restaurant. They're all the same. So yeah, if you're trying to lose weight and you still want to look good, don't go eat fast food. Once in a while, why not? Alright, look at today. We're talking about your fun facts, guys. It's towards the end of the show. Now, I wanted to share with you guys, we spoke about the nutmeg thing, right? We spoke about nutmeg and what it contains. Now, I don't want to share that with you again. Like, here's another one coming in. It says a 73-year-old bottle of French Burgundy became a most expensive wine, and this was in 2018. Now, another one, competitive art used to be an Olympic sport. For those of you who didn't know, I mean, between 1912 and 1948, the international sporting events awarded medals for music, painting, sculpture, and architecture. Now, a shame it didn't even catch on, but the famous pottery scene in Ghost, the movie, or the series rather, could have won an Olympic medal as well as an Academy Award, if you didn't know, for the best screenplay. Quite cool, huh? Okay, let's talk about a chef's hat. Now, everybody likes the way that chef's hat looks, right? It's long, it's white, it makes the chef look like a king or the boss of the area, you know? But a chef's hat has 100 pleats, for those of you who didn't know. So apparently it's meant to represent the 100 ways you can cook an egg. And I wonder if Gordon Ramsay actually knows this, because I think he was part of the invention of the chef's hat. Now, here's another fun fact. In 2014, there was a Tinder match in Antarctica, for those of you who didn't know. Two research scientists actually matched on the global dating app in the most remote part of the world. A man working in the United States Antarctic, the Antarctic McMurdo Station, and a woman camping a 45-minute helicopter ride away. What are the chances of them actually meeting? Seriously. Alright, another fun fact. The Spanish national anthem has no words. Did you know that? Okay, it's called the Macha Real. Okay, it's one of only 4 national anthems in the world, along with those of Bosnia and Herzegovina. They say to have no official lyrics. It's just, you get me? Yeah. Alright guys, that's all the time we have for today. From myself, Kimera, we'll check you guys tomorrow, same time, same place, 7 o'clock in the morning. Tomorrow on Friday, yeah? Check you tomorrow. Bye-bye for now.